All right, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on how to do creepy jars. We're gonna turn this into this. It's gonna be pretty quick, but it shouldn't be too hard to understand. First thing you wanna do is get a jar. It can be any kind of jar, pickle jar. If you got some ball or mason jars laying around, they'll do too. They're preferable because they have the look, but you can get like cheap ones at the dollar store or anywhere else or yard sales and just use them. But what you're gonna do first, spray the inside with an ink and alcohol mixture or paint washes. If you don't have any of them, you can also do spray paint. And what you'll do is spray the inside with water. Let the water beat up on the inside of the glass and spray the spray paint inside, like black, green, and brown. Let it dry, and when the water dries, it will leave a speckled pattern on the inside and give it that nice aged look, so it's not so clear. It gives it that dirty, nasty kind of look. And then once you get the look that you like with that, you're gonna fill in the bottom. And when you put stuff on the inside, you can literally do anything you want. I generally use like rice, sawdust, seeds, noodles, anything you can find in the woods, leaves, some doll hair, moss, anything. And sometimes if you're feeling like you want a little more texture, you can even put some big sticks or pine cones or something in there just to give the shadowing and the cool looking creepy vibes inside, because when it's on the shelf, it's gonna have a light in it and it's gonna be glowing and all the shadowing is gonna come out and it's just gonna look like nastiness anyway. And that's the whole point. It's just supposed to be creepy and weird looking. Now to start, just get your supplies out, what you want to put in, and then put them into something you can mix it in. And generally, I use a bowl or something, but just for today, I'm gonna use a cup just to make it easy to mix so everyone can see it. Everything's in there, and then all you're gonna do is add some kind of liquid. Now, there's different options. I like using shellac and perma-blood or monster blood. What I'm using today is Monster X Misfits Permanent Monster Blood. Good stuff, check it out. But what you can do is you can pour it in just enough to mix everything around. I'm doing this one-handed, so bear with me. Just pour enough in there to get started. The idea is to coat everything and make it look like a nasty mess. You can use a stir stick to do this, popsicle stick, anything you got. Use your imagination. And you're just gonna mix it up real good. You'll probably have to add some more, and that's no big deal. If all you got is water and paint, you can do that too. Just mix the water and paint together to get the color you want, and then mix it all in there real good. Put a little more in there. The idea with this is just to make like a nasty concoction that's gonna go in the bottom of the jar and sit at the bottom and harden and make it look gross. And what's good about shellac and perma-blood is it will actually seal the rice and the noodles and anything else you put in there, so it's not gonna draw insects or stink or rot or mold or anything like that. It's basically gonna preserve it in like a sealed format here. There we go. Just mix it up real good. Now we got enough blood in there. Let's put a little shellac in there just to give it that nasty, gross amber color. And do the same thing, just mix it up. See that shellac makes a nice, nasty looking run. The color is just great to make things look dirty and gross. Pretty much add it on anything. It's kind of like a haunt sauce, man. You just dump it and pour it on things just to get that extra gross factor. And that's pretty good right there. And that's what we're ending up with. Now keep in mind, this is gonna take a while to dry, so it might take a few days under a fan or out in the sun. So what you're gonna do is start putting it in there. this one-handed. Don't recommend. Use two hands. Now, if you get stuff on the side of the jar, that's even better. Let that stuff naturally happen and don't wipe it off. Just make it look gross. Those runs are even perfect. Once it all dries and that candle's in there burning, it's gonna make it look awesome. And don't make a mess like I did. Now, once you get it in there, you wanna flatten it out. Just so it makes a nice base, because you're gonna have to put a candle in there eventually, so you want it nice and flat. You can use your stir stick and press it down real good. And if you got anything you want to add in there, like I was talking about, like doll hair, stick it back in the mixing container. Got a little bit of moss here. And we'll just get a chunk of that and stick it in there. Excuse the camera. Need to get the tripod at some point. All right, same thing. Put a little bit of blood in there just to make it all wet and nasty. Like I said, you don't have to use blood. You can use shellac, you can use paints, you can use any kind of paint or moisture, nasty looking colors, whatever you want. It's gonna work no matter what, but the shellac and that's better. Just like I said, the permanent monster blood, because it will seal everything and it'll get rock hard and you won't have to worry about it going anywhere. Paints obviously won't do that as much. But you can use like, you know, dye gel or vintage gel for like leathers and stuff like that. We're gonna be using that for some other stuff here in a couple minutes. But we do that, put a little more shellac in here. Put as much as you want, but just make sure you remember the more moisture it's got in it, the longer it's gonna take to dry. And we're gonna mix this stuff up. And as you see, it already looks disgusting. Little pumpkin seeds in there. Throw in some seeds and like pine cones and little weird things you find in the woods. Yeah, it's perfect, just stick it in there. I mean, look at that. Gross. So we're gonna add that to the jar. That nice liquid coming out, bingo. Now, what I like to do with something like this is pile it up towards the side here. Pick a side, kind of jam it in there a little bit, but leave an area somewhere for the candle to sit eventually. Right there. There's no wrong way to do this. You do whatever you want, however you want it to look. It's your art, so it's gonna be different than mine. It doesn't matter what it looks like in the end, as long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. And when it comes to making this kind of stuff, it's kind of hard to screw it up. Even something if you think it's screwed up, you just made it look cool in the long run anyway. Now, if you want some more dirt inside, what I would do is go in here, scrape some of the stuff that's left over, because you're not gonna get it all. It's gonna stick to the sides and stuff. Get it on your stick, and then come in here and just fling it around. Let little pieces in that stick to the glass just to give that extra look. Find a pumpkin seed in here. Just stick it in here and rub it to the side. Now this is just a quick one. Normally this wouldn't be like this. And then you can just go ahead and do what you like as far as how dirty you want it to be or how nasty you want it to be. It looks like it's gonna be about good right there. Not just for today, because I'm making this quick. We're just gonna leave it at that and then move on. So the next thing you're going to do is you're gonna get candle. I use the candles you can get off Amazon. You can get a whole box for like nothing. Very easy to use. Battery, you can change the battery in it. You're probably wondering how we're gonna put it in and out. Well, that's what we're gonna do this for. You can go ahead and get a glue gun or any kind of glue you got. Run a bead along the side. Doing this one-handed, of course, so this is gonna be a good time here. So you wanna get just a little bit of glue running down. Then you're gonna find yourself a stick. Doesn't matter what kind of stick, any stick you can. Make it about 8 inches long. And then you're gonna put the stick right on the bead of glue and let it hold there for a minute. just to get nice and cured so it's sticking to the candle. This stick is how you're going to raise the candle in and out of the jar. So you can turn it on and off, change the batteries, all that. Makes it a lot easier. It's not going to stay like this. We're going to nasty this candle up a little bit too because this is way too clean. It's not going to match the jar. All right, that's about good. And once that's done, put a little bit more glue on top of the stick, around the side of the stick, all over, just to make it sure it's going to stay there and do what it's supposed to do. Thankfully, hot glue dries pretty quick and we can start working with it again. All right, well, that's doing that. Now, if you notice on this jar that's already done, see how nasty the glass is? It's got like a hue to it. That's just different paint washes and spray paints. And if you spray it in there and there's too much paint, you can always get sandpaper and back it off a little bit. And it will get some clear spots. You can make it clear where you want it. I generally try to do this. You're going to have sometimes a label on these mason jars. Try to do it so the candle is sitting like this. So you want to clear off this side a little more than this side, but you still got that glow from the inside showing all the cool features and textures of the glass and everything inside. All right, now that we're done this looks like it's holding still tacky, no big deal. So this is how we're gonna age the candle. That way it fits the rest of the profile of the jar. You're gonna take this antique vintage gel. It's for like leather and stuff like that. It's just a dye gel, antique gel, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to put a little bit on a paper towel. You don't have to use this. You can use whatever you have laying around. You can use alcohol inks or anything, some paint. You dry brush it a little bit. I just find this is a little easier. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the candle, a whole bunch of it. Just make it look nasty. Just stay away from the bottom where the battery goes because you're going to have to get in there and do things. Change the battery. You don't want to get stuck to the bottom of the jar or getting in there and the battery doesn't work anymore. And then you're just going to leave it like that. Now you can wipe it off. You can do whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just keep in mind that you don't want too much buildup on it because you want this candle light to shine through good enough to come through the glass and highlight everything else. Now, obviously, there's some spots and stuff I'm missing there, but again, this is just for a quick tutorial. So this basically is going to work like this. This stick will allow you to put this candle down and put it inside there and highlight everything. Now, you don't want to put the candle in there until everything is dry, which might take a day or two, depending on how much liquid's in there, because it will get stuck to the bottom. It will go in the battery thing, and then your candle's messed up, and you'll have to do another one. But yeah, just for the sake of this candle is already broken. I'm just doing this for show. So that's where it will go, just in there like that. Now, like I said, after you decided how creepy and nasty you want the inside of your jar to be and you're happy with the way it looks and happy with the way how the glass is and how dirty and nasty it is, now we're going to move on to the top. The top's pretty easy. All you're going to do is use like a burlap. You can get this in any store, any kind of fabric store, Joann's or Michael's, whatever is open these days. And then you're going to cut a square and then stick it over the top. Just like that. Now, generally, what I would do is hold it down like this and then wrap it with my twine and then glue it. Because I'm doing this one-handed, I'm going to glue the glass just so it holds it for me because this is going to be a disaster if I don't. And then glue that down right there. Go to the other side. Put another bead down just to hold it down. Press it in there real good. You can do this regardless. Even if you have two hands and you want to do it to make sure it's more secure, you can. No big deal. Just go ahead and do that. And that's going to basically start the top for us. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm going to put this down. Okay, so I'm a noob. Drop the phone. Hit the stop button. Wasn't recording. I wasn't paying attention. All I did was get the hot glue gun and hot glue the sides to hold this together. And then once we got that held together, we got some twine, probably about 3 or 4 feet, and start wrapping the rim. Put the glue down, put a little bit of twine in there so it holds it still, and then start wrapping it around. As much as you want, as light as you want, it doesn't matter. Then once all that's done, you glue it, hot glue it down, make sure it stays in place, and then cut a slit up here to get the candle and stick in and out of the jar. And the only thing I'd done so far was add some shellac and some paints and stuff to the outside to make it look older and nastier. Now again, this is just a quick tutorial, so I'm not gonna go all out like I usually do, but you wanna go ahead and just make this as nasty as you want. Different colors and everything else, just add it in there and then put some moss and Spanish moss and whatever else you want to do on it. Now what I'm going to do for the Spanish moss, just to give you an idea, is I'd pick a corner, usually a corner of the glass, like, we'll just say this one right here. And we'll put some glue right here in the corner. Then you get yourself a whole bunch of Spanish moss or a little bit, whichever you want, and just put it on there. And then break the rest off. You don't want to go too hard on it because you want to leave a little to the imagination here and still be able to see the glass. You're just giving the idea that this is a nasty swamp jar. Again, one hand sucks. Let's give the idea this is a swamp jar. So the moss just adds the extra flavor to it. And you could put some of the green moss around the edge here just to make it look older. Sprinkle some white paint or something on there just to give that effect of like mold and mildew. You can do whatever. You can put cockroaches and flies on the outside. Anything you want to do is possible. Just go for it. Just play around and see what works for you. Now, I would recommend too, now this looks like the square we put on top. I don't like that. So what I like to do is I like to rip it up a little bit. Pull strands off so it's not so even and so pretty. Remember, this thing's supposed to be sitting on a shelf in a shack somewhere. A bunch of hillbillies eating people around it and stuff like that. Human meat in there, who knows? It's not supposed to be nice. You can take your scissors, cut it up a little bit more. I don't like all these nice angles. Just work with it, just till you get it to where you want it. And it's perfect. Perfect for you, that's all that matters. And then your candle, like I said, will go down and sit in that flat spot we were talking about earlier, and it will shine out through there nice. Now, I don't think this candle works. It does not, so it doesn't matter. But you get the idea. That's basically how to do it. Anybody can do it, any kind of direction you want to go. Just play with it. And remember, you don't have to have a mason jar or anything fancy. You can go to the dollar store and find a jar. You can get a pickle jar, just gross up the outside. You can have a big jar from like the big pickles. It doesn't matter. It's your imagination. There's endless possibilities. This is the finished version. If you can see all the different colors and different mosses and stuff I like to put in there. I like to go a little overboard sometimes. I don't know when to stop, but I guess most haunters don't. This is a finished one. If you see, I got a little bit of shellac running down there. The aging, where the glue was, is all aged up so you can't tell. And then basically just comes down like this. You just turn these on. If I can turn it on. You're gonna get the nice glow to it. It's gonna go in top here. It's gonna find a nice hole down there. And then you're gonna get that nice look. You can adjust it to wherever you want it. There's all kinds of stuff in this one, so it's gonna have a gross look. And then we'll come over here and turn the light off so you can see in the dark. And that's what your finished product will look like. You can switch it to any way you want it, put it on any kind of shelf, highlight whatever you want. You can throw more stuff in when you're done. If you don't like it, you want it more debris in the way or sticks or pine cones, just load it up. It'll be good. You'll look creepy no matter what you do. And regardless, at the end of the day, it's your piece of art, so you do what you want to do. All right, if you have any questions or comments, just get a hold of me directly. Darkest Night Studios, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that nonsense. Just get a hold of me, and if I need any more questions or if I can answer anything or if I do another video, I'll let you know. Until then, thank you.